If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Jonathan Kuminga just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. The NBA world is buzzing once again, and this time it's about a storyline that nobody thought we'd see play out in 2025. Imagine this for a second: Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, and Jimmy Butler all wearing Golden State Warriors jerseys, chasing one more championship together. The possibility was real. The conversations happened. The doors were open. And yet, in stunning fashion, Kevin Durant has reportedly turned down the opportunity to play alongside Curry again. For Warriors fans, this feels like a bombshell because if there was ever a chance to recreate the dynasty magic, it was this offseason. But KD said no? Why? What went wrong? And why is this rejection hitting the Bay so hard at the exact same time that Jonathan Kuminga is absent from the Jimmy Butler-led minicamp, raising even more questions about his future with the franchise? Buckle up, because this is not your average NBA offseason story. Let's start with Durant. When news first leaked that the Warriors had at least explored the idea of bringing KD back, the basketball community immediately split into two camps. Some fans were thrilled at the thought of Curry and Durant joining forces again, even if only for a short run at another title. Others were skeptical, pointing out the bitter history of Durant's exit in 2019, the infamous arguments with Draymond Green, and the whispers that KD never quite felt embraced by Golden State the way he wanted. For a moment, though, it seemed possible that everyone might be ready to let bygones be bygones in the name of chasing a championship. But according to insiders, Durant himself was the one who closed the door. He rejected the notion of returning to the Warriors. Sources say it wasn't about basketball ability. He still respects Curry as one of the greatest teammates he's ever had. It wasn't about the system either. Durant thrived in Steve Kerr's motion offense. Instead, this came down to legacy and pride. Durant has been criticized for years as the superstar who joined a 73-win team just to get his rings. He's heard the bus rider comments. He's been labeled as someone who needed Curry to cement his greatness, and deep down, KD reportedly doesn't want to relive that narrative. Coming back to Golden State would be admitting that his greatest successes only came when he was Steph's sidekick, and that's a shadow he's still not willing to step back into. There's also the matter of chemistry. Durant may not want to reopen old wounds with Draymond Green, who famously told him "we don't need you" during that heated 2018 confrontation. Even if Curry and Kerr welcomed him with open arms, the locker room dynamic would have been delicate. The Warriors are already trying to balance their old core with new blood like Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and possibly Kai Sato. Adding Durant would have been thrilling on paper but complicated in reality. KD, it seems, didn't want to deal with the politics of it all. For Curry, this is bittersweet. He's always kept the door open to Durant, always shown public respect, and never held a grudge. Imagine Curry quietly hoping for one last run with KD, only to see him walk away from the chance. It hurts. Because let's be honest, Curry knows his window is closing. He's still playing at an incredible level, but time is undefeated, and the Warriors don't have many shots left. Adding Durant could have been that final push toward one more championship banner. Now, it's just a dream that evaporated before it could even begin. And as if that wasn't enough drama, the Warriors are dealing with a brand new storm involving Jonathan Kuminga. Reports surfaced that the young forward, who is supposed to be the bridge to Golden State's future, was absent from Jimmy Butler's Warriors minicamp. This minicamp was significant. It wasn't just casual workouts. It was a statement of intent. Butler, freshly signed to the Warriors, wanted to establish leadership, set the tone, and bring the squad together before training camp. Almost everyone showed up. Curry showed up. Draymond showed up. Even new additions and role players made an appearance. But Kuminga? Nowhere to be found. This absence has fueled rumors that Kuminga is frustrated with the front office and hesitant to commit to the team long-term without a major contract extension. Let's not forget, Kuminga has been very vocal in the past about wanting a bigger role, about needing to be treated as a cornerstone rather than a complementary piece. And with Butler arriving, some insiders believe Kuminga feels pushed aside yet again, as if the franchise doesn't fully trust him to be the face of the next generation. Missing Butler's minicamp might not sound like a big deal on the surface, but in the context of contract negotiations, it's being interpreted as a message, a subtle but clear way of saying, "I'm not all in until you take me seriously." The timing could not be worse. The Warriors desperately need harmony if they're going to make one last push with Curry, Butler, and Draymond. Durant's rejection already crushed one dream. The last thing this team needs is tension with their most talented young player. And yet, here we are, Durant saying no from the outside, and Kuminga sending signals of discontent from the inside. Fans are split on Kuminga's absence. Some argue it's no big deal, maybe he had personal matters, maybe the minicamp wasn't mandatory, maybe this is just being blown out of proportion. Others see it as the beginning of the end. If Kuminga doesn't sign an extension, he could become the centerpiece of a blockbuster trade. Could the Warriors be forced to move him mid-season? Could they use him as leverage to chase another star? Remember, this is the same organization that moved on from Monta Ellis to build around Curry, that moved on from D'Angelo Russell to bring in Andrew Wiggins. The Warriors have never been afraid to make ruthless decisions in pursuit of winning. But here's the problem, Kuminga is not just another young player. He's shown flashes of stardom. His athleticism, his scoring, his defensive versatility, he's the type of player you build around, not the type you throw away. Losing him, especially if it's because the team couldn't make him feel valued, could come back to haunt Golden State for years. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler is caught in the middle of all this. He came to Golden State to win, to push Curry back to the finals, and to add his own grit to the Warriors' culture. The minicamp was supposed to be a unifying moment, a chance to set the tone for the season. Instead, the absence of Kuminga left an awkward silence hanging over the gym. Sources say Butler wasn't thrilled about it, and while he hasn't called Kuminga out publicly, you can bet he's taking mental notes. Butler is known for demanding accountability, and if Kuminga isn't on the same page, that tension could explode when the season begins. So here's the reality, the Warriors are at a crossroads. They tried to bring Durant back, but he rejected the idea. They added Butler to give Curry one last chance, but their young star is already showing signs of hesitation. The dynasty is no longer about splashy titles and parades, it's about survival, about trying to squeeze every ounce of greatness from Curry's final years while also securing a future that doesn't collapse the moment he retires. Warriors fans, this is the drama that defines eras. Durant's rejection is a reminder that the past is the past, you can't always recreate the magic. Kuminga's absence is a warning shot that the future isn't guaranteed either. And in the middle stands Curry, still fighting, still smiling, still believing that somehow, someway, this team can figure it out. The question now is simple, will the Warriors pull together, or will the cracks widen until everything falls apart? Will Kuminga recommit, embrace Butler, and take the torch? Or will he force his way out, leaving Curry with nothing but memories? And will Durant one day regret slamming the door shut on one more dance with the player who made him shine brighter than ever? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this Warriors season isn't just about basketball. It's about pride, legacy, loyalty, and the painful truth that dynasties don't last forever. And that's why, right now, the Golden State Warriors are once again the most fascinating story in the NBA.